Welcome to Web Handling. My name is Dave Roysum. I am super excited to continue my very popular series on great questions in web handling. In this clip, we explain why sometimes you can have very large misalignments on guides and spreaders and sometimes get away with it. I know your time is precious, so let's get started. I'm not sure that you've ever thought about it or even noticed. If not, now is the time to observe and ask questions. Observe how the two most common intermediate guides have very large roller misalignments. This is often centimeters or even inches. Not only that, in the process, the web is shifted sideways by centimeters or even inches. Not only that, the unwind and winder guides act momentarily misaligned when they move, and they too can move the web centimeters or even inches. Just because we label a roller as a guide does not somehow make it immune to roller alignment requirements. A guide is just like any other roller in that respect. It can wrinkle and tear the web if roller misalignment is too much. Also observe how two of the most common spreaders have gross misalignments at each edge. Effectively, the misalignment at the ends can be centimeters or even inches. Similar concerns arise with all the other spreaders as well. Just because we label a roller as a spreader does not somehow make it immune to roller alignment requirements. A spreader is just like any other roller in that respect. It can easily wrinkle or tear the web if roller misalignment is too much. Details matter, and there are two details that matter most with regard to these general questions about rollers, guides, and spreaders. The first is what misalignment means, as shown in this slide, and the second is how much misalignment is tolerable before wrinkling and tearing and other troubles happen, which is shown on the next slide. As I teach in my award-winning and trademark Web 101 school that has been taken by 5,000 people, there are two components of misalignment, whether roller or guide or spreader. In-plane bending is by far the most risky, perhaps 2 orders of magnitude riskier than out-of-plane twisting. This component may require hair's thickness roller alignment tolerances. The first key to understanding rollers and guiding and spreading is to know this very important distinction. It is a distinction well known by web handlers, but may not be known by some machine builders, some component suppliers, some machine and component buyers, and some maintenance people. Some of these people may think of misalignment as being a deviation of level and square, which is a convenience of measurement, rather than any property that is of concern to the web. See my Web 101 notes, or the must-have 750-page Web Handling Handbook for a detailed explanation. Recall that in-plane bending is the riskiest component of misalignment. The first of two big risks is overstretching the edges of the web as it bends sideways as required by the normal entry rule. The second of the two big risks is the hard or soft diagonal wrinkle. Both are predicted by the free and easy to use Wrinkle Predictor by AbbottApps, which I have described in several of my shows on this all web handling channel of YouTube. We don't need to know all of the details here because they are covered in great detail elsewhere. All we need to know is that some degree of misalignment is tolerated by the web, depending on which component we're talking about. All you have to do is find the threshold of pain by any number of techniques, including this Abbott app. Then you apply an appropriate safety factor, perhaps 4 in converting to as much as 10 in the paper industry, to determine design and maintenance standards for rollers of any kind. So what does this all mean? It means simply this, that if you really know web handling, then you could cheat a bit. What I mean by that is you can allow a certain amount of misalignment depending on the direction before the web starts complaining by wrinkling or tearing or some other misbehavior. That certain amount can be applied to rollers, guides, or spreaders. So what this means is that if you use pure twist, such as the displacement guide, you can move the web farther and do so in a more compact space than you can with the steering guide, which has in-plane bending and requires really long entry spans. So cheating means you know how far you can go for a specific application. Cheating also knows that you know what the consequences are for going too far before, during, and or after a machine is designed, built, and maintained. You could quickly recognize that you went too far and what you must do to fix it. Yay, science! Thank you so very much for allowing me to share my thoughts on great questions in web handling. If you have a topic you would like to hear about, let me know in the comment section below. If you found something interesting or useful here, please like and share and subscribe. Stay tuned for next week's show where we will try to answer the question on what is the best cover for rollers. See you next time.